Okay.
My name is Ilana. Ilana, my maiden name is Goldberg, and my married name is Gross. I was born March 20th, 1954. I was born in Latvia, in Riga. And through Hayas, it's a Jewish organization who helped the Jews to reunite with their families, we got our visa, in other words, to immigrate to Israel. So at the age of 16, they send you, letters that you have to get ready, and there are all kinds of interviews. And at the age of 18, you go for a special training. Everybody goes through the special training for 1 month. I learned how to use Uzi, how to take the Uzi apart, how to clean it, and if it's not clean, you're in trouble. So there was kind of preparation for war, but actually, so we were not allowed to leave and stay in the base. And I remember that when I got into my bunker the following day, it was on Thursday. Thursday morning, I was alone and I was listening to the communication on the other side, and all the signs of war signs, I was listening, and I said, I can't believe this. And I was just, the authority, what do? I have to report it. And then my captain, he came down to the bunker, and because our rooms were all underground. And I told him that. I said, it's the signs of war. You have on a map, okay, all the ships, okay, sitting in a specific area, and suddenly you listen that all the Russian advisors at that time, the Russians were in Egypt, the Russians were in Syria, all the Russian advisors are living, not by themselves, but with their families. The families with the dog and the cat and the mom, all those simple things are indication of something is happening, something about to happen. I was in the Sinai, and in 1973, before the war, I was actually physically was there at the time when the war started. The first bomb that fell, it was on our base, and actually I heard the pilot who took off from the base in Egypt towards our base in
Sinai. You could hear the
yeah, well,
was that close?
Yeah, well, it's intelligence. We're all not.
Okay,
Yeah. They shut the plane down.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's but our base was hurt. My friend was killed. We were not exactly prepared, and he slept in his room when the bomb fell. So, yeah, it was pretty sad. So we couldn't leave. They tried to evacuate all the girls from our base. And we couldn't leave because it was attacks after attacks, and it took us 4 days. It took them 4 days to evacuate all the girls. But in cities, you could feel it because you had to cover your windows with something to cover so the light doesn't go. It has to be pitch black. I remember when we left Sinai, and it was like 7 o'clock at night when we arrived to the first town of Ashkelon and Beersheba. No, it was Beersheba. And I remember you didn't see one light. It was pitch black. So everybody is attacked. It doesn't matter if you're in the city or if you're close to the battlefield. It doesn't matter, because your children, families, mothers, wives, sisters, brothers, everybody's on the front fighting. So you're affected no matter what, so yeah, it was a very difficult war. Very difficult.
Did you know anyone else that didn't survive?
Yes, my classmates. I graduated high school in 1972, and for some reason, to get our diploma, the high school diploma, was postponed at the time, and only after the war we all got together and we went to the high school to get our diploma, and it was not one dry eye. My friend was killed. One of my friend's brother was killed the first day of the war. My other friend was killed as well. And whoever came to pick up the diploma, it was the sister or it was the brother of the person who was killed. I'm talking about after 1948. Israel was young. It was a young country, not prepared to accept so many Jews. What do you do? How do you solve this issue? So they started to, first of all, the American Jews, you know, all the donations. Golda Meir at the time used to go to America all the time, from one state to another state, to get donations. They needed at that time housing. Where are you gonna house those families? And
these are the people that were in the camps.
Yes.
We're talking about after World War II.
But even after that.
In the TP camps.
Yes. Yeah. And then you had to transport them to some places, normal housing. How many people can live in one bedroom or just like a big studio? It was a very big economic problem, and each immigration faces different problems. I remember when we came in 1967, the country was like 19 years old already, almost, right? 19 years old. I remember we were given by the country an apartment. We had to pay very little, kind of a rent, very little. I was a child, I don't remember, but that's what I heard. My mom and dad were talking. We got 2 bedrooms, a very nice apartment, and talking about people who came from big cities. We came from Riga, modern, beautiful city, and we came to the town. It was like a little town, suburbs of Tel Aviv. They didn't have streets. You know,
paved streets.
Yes. Now, of course, if you go there, you're not gonna. When I go there and I visit that area, and it's like Silicon Valley. It's like Manhattan. It's like all the high-tech companies is in that place, you know. But in 1967, no housing, nothing. We felt that it's luxury, you know. My mom, it all depends how you look at it. My mom's dream came true. She came to Eretz Israel. She didn't care. And she used to go to work. She didn't drive when we didn't have, at the beginning we didn't have a car. We lived very close to plantations of oranges. She used to walk to work through the plantations in the middle of the winter when rain and it was windy, and she was always with a smile on her face, always. She was happy that she's in this country. As a young girl, she had a dream to go to Israel, but she couldn't.
And as a young girl, she was living in...
Before the war.
Before. During the war, though?
No, before the war. She was much...
During the war, she was living in Siberia.
No. During the war, it's my mom. During the war, she lived in Riga and then in Russia with her sister. Yeah. My father lived in Siberia. Yeah. So...
Okay.